We got Zohran Mamdani. I keep seeing him. He's smiling at me like every time I scroll on Twitter. I go a little bit lower and I hear Zohran making my morning more interesting. Usually he is followed by a posse of Trump supporters accusing him to be a communist. And the posse of Trump supporters is followed by another posse of left-wingers saying that the Trump supporters just don't understand and that this guy is the Messiah. He is the one. He's the chosen. He has come to release the leftists from the matrix. And, we gotta analyze, why is that? Why do so many left-wing people like Zohran? Because every time he opens his mouth, it makes me more religious. In the sense that he talks and I start to cross myself. It's like, how is this possible? How can he say something like that? We're going to go in depth in a little bit. But first, let's analyze why do they treat him like the Messiah? And honestly, I genuinely believe it's because he is young and he is smiling. Literally, that's it. No, you don't have to delve more into it. See, the problem with the modern man is that we try to overcomplicate things when the answer is so simple. He is young and he is smiling. I know this shouldn't make sense, right? It's like, V, you're insane. What are you talking about? This is not how politics work. This is exactly how politics work in 2025, right? Like in the 90s, it wouldn't work like this. In the 80s, it wouldn't work like this. But we live in the current time and we have to adjust ourselves to the expectations of the modern man. If you look at the Democrat politicians in 2025, overwhelmingly are over the age of 60, and they have this face of perpetual concern. I don't know, why do they have the face of perpetual concern? Maybe there is still a forum on the internet that's not censored yet. Maybe there is some sort of homegrown industry in America that they haven't taxed and regulated yet. But suffice to say, it's like every single time you see a Democrat politician, they are perpetually concerned. And here you have this gentleman who's perpetually smiling. Right? It's almost like, unlike the concerned people, he sees a bright future. Maybe he has the solutions. Unfortunately, the solutions are communism. We're going to discuss about them in a bit, as I promised. But before I do that, I would like to tell you my take as an Eastern European, right? Because this is why you come to the channel, to see, what does the Eastern European think? I'm a cynical person, right? Unlike most Americans, I live off of cynicism. No one should be smiling this much, right? When someone is smiling this much, it's almost like a car salesman. It wants to sell me something. No one is allowed to be this happy. I'm not saying people shouldn't be happy or that politicians shouldn't smile, but there's a dial, okay? If you're at 0 and your face is perpetual concern, that also screams fakeness to me. That tries to tell me that you're a different type of salesman that tries to induce panic into me. So you want me to panic vote for you, okay? But if you're a politician that's always smiling, that tells me that it's literally the opposite, also bad, a different type of salesman that tries to sell me bullshit. Tries to make me think that everything is fine. And so, a politician, in my opinion, requires a wide range of human emotions in order to be considered somewhat relatable, right? They should be sad when the case calls for it. They should be happy when the case calls for it. But if you're always sad or always happy, something is amiss. Now, let's see why people call him a communist. Well, for those of you who don't happen to be in America, let me tell you about an American phenomenon which is expanding right now. It's called a food desert. Okay, as a European, when I first heard about it on CNN, I mocked it, I scoffed it. I was like, what the fuck is that, a food desert? Just move your ass to the store. Oh, you don't have a store in your neighborhood. Big fucking whoop, move your ass and get to the store. The problem was that I was thinking about European neighborhoods, especially Eastern European neighborhoods, where the difficulty to going to the store is just the inconvenience that you have to walk. No, we're talking about American neighborhood. Chicago, okay? Chicago, Scat Francisco. Every journey is an event, right? Every journey you may have random NPCs popping up giving you various quests. For instance, can you return safely at night without making eye contact with the drug dealers? That type of neighborhoods, okay? So for them, it's not just the inconvenience, but it's survival. Like they have to go out and get food, and at the same time, they also need to survive the dangerous area. And these neighborhoods, right, like they don't have supermarkets at all. The Uber driver doesn't go there. It's kind of like, to put it in a way that Europeans understand, it's kind of like a no-go zone, but you actually have to live there, okay? And there are several in the United States, like for dozens of kilometers, there's literally no supermarket. Like you can't get food. And so Zohran apparently is coming with the solution, and his solution is Soviet-style supermarkets. Now, unfortunately, we know from history that these things don't work, right? But Zohran has statistics, and more importantly, he has studies, right? Like he has people which have done feasibility studies, right? Like they're experts. Like an expert means a human being that is so well known in the subject that you can't hold a candle on them. And how do we know this? Well, because we're being told, right? So like you're being told that this person has studied the phenomenon so in depth that they came to the conclusion that, well, actually, you know, Soviet-style supermarkets work. And you can actually see this in Kansas, right? Like he literally says, we've seen that the Soviet-style supermarket works in Kansas. He told the press. When a feasibility study was done in Chicago, it was shown to be something that was not only feasible, but pressing and urgent in an urban setting. Okay, so like what are Soviet-style supermarkets? It basically means that the government takes your money, chat. Yes, like you want to go home and you want to give your money to your lovely daughter, to your lovely wife, but the government goes, nay. And they reach into your pockets. Like really deep, and they take that cash away from you. They rip it from your family, right? Like your hard-earned money is being ripped from you with the power of the state. And it's being given to a person that runs a supermarket in a food desert. Although, to be fair, I'm oversimplifying, right? Because like, as all taxpayer money, like they have to go through many hands, you know, many grifts. Like that feasibility study, for instance, you know, someone has to pay for it. Does Zohran pay for it? No, he doesn't. You pay for it. You pay for it with your hard-earned taxpayer money, okay? So, like, after the cash goes through feasibility studies, through all these things, it finally goes into a supermarket that exists in a place where no supermarket should exist. What do I mean by this? Am I racist? No. I'm just saying, like, the free market decides where supermarkets get to happen. If there's no supermarket in a place where there is demand, like people want food, yet no supermarket exists, there must be some variable, like something must be happening there. Now, I assume maybe it's the high crime rate, right? Because, like, it doesn't make any other sense. Business people aren't that fucking racist. And even if they were, like, you would have people from that community putting money together and creating their own businesses. The reason they don't is because of legislation. You know, laws like if you steal less than $1,000, it's not a felony, it's a misdemeanor. Or let's defund the police. Or maybe even the culture where the police are being told explicitly or sometimes implied, maybe you shouldn't come here. Okay? So like when that happens, people who open a supermarket there end up having problems. When people end up having problems, the supermarket becomes non-profitable. When the supermarket becomes non-profitable, the food rots, which is literally what happened here, right? So, as predicted, Soviet-era solutions come attached with Soviet-era problems. The supermarkets, apparently, had people stealing shit from there. Now, when it's a private company, they actually care. It's like people don't like to have their property stolen. When it's paid by the government, people care less. It's the government's problem. You know, it's not my store. It's not my stuff. I'm just administering it. The second issue was, well, food rotting. Apparently, when that happens, again, it's not your store. You don't really care. You know, if it's my store, I don't want food rotting on the shelves. When it's the government store, am I paid to fix that? No? Okay, who fucking cares, you know? The government will send someone. That literally, that's the Soviet mentality. That's how people here in this country used to think in the 80s and in the 70s, right? Like, you don't own the store, you administer it. And so, why do you give a fuck? You don't give a fuck. But more importantly, it's the supply. Like, when someone goes to a supermarket and they don't find what they want in 2025, they get annoyed. When someone gets annoyed, they don't go there a second time. You know, like, imagine this. You're going to a new supermarket that opened. Maybe it's closer, maybe it's convenient, sure. But then you realize that the stuff you want to find isn't there. You know, maybe you do find some stuff, but like the other one, like bread or essentials, they're not there. And on top of that, it smells of rotten meat. Well, what happens is like people stop going there, right? And more meat starts to rot. Like, all of this is predictable, but again, like, the experts with their feasibility studies paid by the taxpayer, they say, no, it's pretty reasonable, and we need more stores like this to open. And so, I think, like, he's asking for, like, $1 million per store, like, insane amounts, and that's just, like, the forward cost, right? Because, like, you have to administer the store, and if the store is run by the government, it comes with, like, various bureaucratic rules and regulations, making sure that you can't compete with the free market. This is why the Soviets had to completely abolish private property, because, like, the private sector outcompetes the government if there are no regulations. All the time. Hands down. Like, the person that owns the store knows what's better for his own store than the government that never goes there, you know? So, anyway. Because, obviously, if it's your store, it's in your interest for it to work, and you actually know better about the place, the neighborhood, the people that come there, than some government expert that just looks at some numbers and never even visits the store, doesn't even know the area, doesn't even know the neighborhood. But anyway, apparently, he was constantly accused of being a communist for legislation such as this. And he has a defense, actually. It's like, look, do you know who else was a communist? Martin Luther King. Take that. I mean, how can you criticize that, right? Like, if you're an American, that's it. Like, communism is actually good. The Soviet Union did nothing wrong because Martin Luther King was also a communist, right? Like, all of the sins of communism have been washed away, all of its political failures, everything bad that it has done, now cannot be criticized because Martin Luther King, right? So, like, Hitler wasn't this lucky, I guess, you know? Like, if Hitler also would have had an American figure, or maybe he did, maybe it's Christopher Columbus, huh? Like, if Christopher Columbus was a Nazi, that they have, like, the Christopher Columbus Day, and is that how it works? I don't know. But the whole issue is that, well, Martin Luther King was a communist, so that's fine. From my knowledge, again, I'm not an American, but from my knowledge, isn't the FBI claiming that Martin Luther King had orgies, and he was unfaithful to his wife? And so, is that now acceptable? It's like, well, I've been cheating on my wife. But Martin Luther King did it, right? Jesus fucking Christ. This level of debating politics is fucking insane, isn't it, right? And it's funny if it wasn't your taxpayer money in line. Because basically, like, what he is saying is like, yeah, we're going to take away your money. We're not doing communism, we're doing distribution of wealth. In other words, right, like, your cash, we're going to take them from you because you don't know how to spend it. We'll spend it properly on experts and studies and making sure that stores have rotten meat. And while we're doing that, we're going to smile. Look at that smile. Isn't it a bright smile? I mean, look, if I was to administer your money, I would be smiling as well. Let me know what you guys think, though. And as usual, I will see you in the comment section. Oh, and I'm putting a video now on the screen, right? Putting a video. Maybe you like that one. I don't know. If you click on it, maybe you like it. Take care.